So now it's time for another preview in the Vanarama National League. Wrexham versus Dagenham and Redbridge at the Racecourse Ground. Now, unfortunately, Wrexham versus Maidenhead United was postponed due to the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, we did put a preview out for the Wrexham versus Maidenhead game, and that is the last thing in regards to previewing a National League game that I have done. But if you guys haven't checked out where I DM some Wrexham players, do go check that out. Link for that video will be down in the description down below. Now, that was the video that obviously replaced the matchday vlog that would have took place between Wrexham and Maidenhead. But it's all good news because the Wrexham versus Dagenham and Redbridge game will be taking place, and it's been confirmed that Tuesday's game and Saturday's game will be on schedule, on point realistically in regards to that. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe and tap that bell for more notifications, because there's a lot of new introductions in regards to this preview. And let's go and check out the Vanarama National League table and what the standings are, so as to where Wrexham stand and Dagenham and Redbridge stand. So the current standings in the Vanarama National League table stand as this: Wrexham in second place on 16 points. Now, we did discuss that Wrexham have won their games at home. They are 3 games played at home, 3 wins, so they took maximum points at home. Whereas Dagenham and Redbridge currently sit 15th in the Vanarama National League on 8 points. Now, a lot more into this preview. We'll speak about Dagenham and Redbridge and Wrexham, the results that they've had, the teams that they've faced, etc, etc, their home form and the away form into that. Now, there's a little thing that we did introduce in the Maidenhead preview, which we are introducing in the Wrexham versus Dagenham and Redbridge preview today, which is the Golden Boot Race. So let's go and check that out, and who sits top, and let's see what the top 10 of the Golden Boot standings are. So the current standings of the Golden Boot Race stand at this. You got Macaulay Langstaff from Notts County on 9 goals, just leading away with the race so far within the National League Golden Boot Race. You got Alex Reid from Solihull Moors, James McShane from Dorking Wanderers, Paul Mullen from Wrexham, all joint second on 5 goals. Then you got Tyrone Marsh from Boreham Wood, Lee Ndlovu from Boreham Wood. You got Paul Blackett from Gateshead, Reese Brown from Wealdstone, Ollie Palmer from Wrexham, and Joseph Nuttall from Scunthorpe United, which are all joint 5th place on 4 goals. Now, hopefully that just sums a bit of it up and how the new introductions of this preview work. But let's go and have a look at the history between Dagenham and Redbridge and Wrexham and when the club was formed. So moving on into the history of Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge, but let's start off with Wrexham. They were founded in October 1864, which is 157 years ago. Currently playing at the Racecourse Ground, having a capacity of 10,771. Owners being Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. And yet, they play in the Vanarama National League, as we do know currently. Dagenham and Redbridge, though, nicknamed the Daggers, founded in 1992, which, believe it or not, is 30 years ago. So some of the older generation might be even older than Dagenham and Redbridge Football Club. Now, the ground is called Victoria Road with a capacity of 6,078. And the owner of Dagenham and Redbridge is Trinity Sports Holdings, currently playing in the Vanarama National League. This is the fixture between Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge. And the one thing that we are missing out is the managers of these two clubs. So let's go and introduce the managers of Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge. So moving on into the managers, introducing the managers, that is, of Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge. The manager of Wrexham, as we all know, is Phil Parkinson, who led Wrexham to a 2nd place finish in the 2021-22 season, just narrowly missing out on the playoff final in what was an absolute game to watch if you are a neutral supporter, between Wrexham and Grimsby, which took place at the Racecourse Ground. Obviously, Grimsby Town coming out as winners and eventually getting promoted to League 2. Now, Dagenham and Redbridge Football Club's manager is none other than Daryl McMahon, finishing 8th last season in the Vanarama National League. I believe they missed out on playoffs as well, just narrowly, and I think the last game of the season was actually, they did play against Wrexham, and they did beat Wrexham on the final game day of the Vanarama National League. But enough said on that front. We are doing things a bit differently today. So let's introduce the head-to-head stats between Dagenham Redbridge and Wrexham. So moving on into the head-to-head stats between Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge. In the last 13 games, it does stand at this. Wrexham have got 4 wins. Dagenham and Redbridge have got 5 wins. And there's 4 draws altogether. Obviously, the last result between Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge being Dagenham and Redbridge 3, Wrexham 0, which was on the last game day of the Vanarama National League season. Junior Marias, Paul McCallum and Matty Robinson with the goals. Now, it's just a bit bizarre, in all honesty, the way that actually the bookies will have it due to the season thus far in the Vanarama National League, that Wrexham would be the favourites coming out, you know, winning 100% of the home games, whereas Dagenham and Redbridge at this current time and moment are not really hitting good form. And to be honest, off the back of their defeat, you know, which we will speak about when introducing Dagenham and Redbridge, it doesn't look good for them coming against Wrexham. Dagenham and Redbridge as well, also currently sitting 22nd on away form, currently picking up 1 point, scoring 1 goal and conceding 4. Now, if that doesn't tell you what I need to say, then I don't know what does. But we all know that Dagenham and Redbridge as well are no pushovers at that point. But enough of this head-to-head stat now. Let's go and introduce the opposition in Dagenham and Redbridge. So now it's time to introduce the opposition in Dagenham and Redbridge, currently sitting 15th in the Vanarama National League. Summer signings being Nicolette Tavares from Wealdstone, Omar Musa from Weymouth, and David Longe King from Grimsby Town. Summer outgoings being Kenny Clark to Hornchurch, Callum Reynolds to Bromley, Scott Wilson to Bath City, Joey Jones going to Solihull Moors, Darren McQueen going to Ebbsfleet United, Brandon Conley going to Walsall, Will Wright going to Gillingham, Ibby Akambi going to Dulwich Hamlet, and Adam Blair going to Braintree Town on loan. Don't know why I called them Dulwich Hamlet. It's Dulwich Hamlet, as we all know. Last result being a 5-0 loss to Notts County. I believe Macaulay Langstaff picked up his first professional hat-trick in the professional game, and the one to watch being Paul McCallum. Now, I do have a correspondent, but I did do my own predicted Dagenham and Redbridge lineup myself, because I thought, you know, it wouldn't really be a preview if I don't really have a say on both teams. But let's move on into my predicted Dagenham and Redbridge lineup to face Wrexham. So moving on into my predicted Dagenham and Redbridge lineup to face Wrexham, obviously the one to watch being Paul McCallum. We've got Justin in goal, Onariasi, a centre-back, going with Tavares and Johnson as the back three. Vilhete and Ling as the wing-backs. We've got Musa, Sagaf and Robinson in midfield, with McCallum and Marias up front. Now, 5 at the back, 3 at the back, whatever you want to call it. Will they match up to Wrexham, or will they go 4 at the back? Who knows? But let's move on to someone with more knowledge of the game and their team, Dagenham and Redbridge, than me, which goes to Dagnificent's own Joel Page. So moving on into Joel's predicted Dagenham and Redbridge lineup to face Wrexham. He's gone as a 5-3-2 formation. He's got Elliot Justin in goal. He's got Miles Weston right wing back, with Josh Hare, Manny Onariasi and Elliot Johnson as the back 3 centre backs, with Mauro Vilhete left wing back. He's gone Nick Tavares as a DM. He's gone Omar Musa and Matt Robinson in centre midfield, which leaves Paul McCallum and Junior Marias up front. His one to watch moving into this game is Junior Marias, and his score prediction is a 3-0 win to Wrexham. Now, to be honest, saying that, I do agree. I do believe it will be a Wrexham win, but we'll discuss my score prediction later on in this video. But for now, let's introduce the hosts playing at the Racecourse Ground in Wrexham. So now it's time to introduce the hosts playing at the Racecourse Ground as their home stadium, obviously, in Wrexham. Currently sitting second in the Vanarama National League. We did mention as well, they have a 100% home win. 3 games played at the Racecourse Ground and 3 wins, picking up a maximum points total of 9 points at home. Summer signings being Elliot Lee, Mark Howard, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Anthony Ford, Sam Dolby, Jacob Mendy, Rory Watson, and also coming through the academy is Kai Evans. Summer outgoings being Sean Brisley to Buxton, Quain Thomas to Sutton United, David Shapaniak to Flint Town, Dan Jarvis to Gateshead, Jordan Ponticelli to Kingsland Town, Dior Angus to Harrogate Town, Tyler French to Dundee FC, and Jake Hyde also going out on loan to Southend United. Being released is Lee Camp, David Jones, Cameron Green, and Devontae Redmond. Last result being a 5-0 win away to Dorking Wanderers. You know, as I did mention as well, Wrexham were scheduled to play Maidenhead United, but that game was postponed. And the one to watch, staying the same for myself, being none other than someone who, in my opinion, is not highly enough spoken about on this channel, in Max Cleworth. Now, we do have lineups from myself, Tomi Caws, and RobRyanRed. So let's see what the three of us has to say. Do we have different lineups, or are all our lineup corresponding into one, and we've all chosen the same lineup? So on screen for you now, we have all chosen the same lineup. You know, I do ask Tomi Caws and RobRyanRed this question individually, as well as I put my own lineup through first, but we have all gone for Mark Howard in goal. We've got Aaron Hayden, Ben Tozer, Max Cleworth at the back, which leaves Anthony Ford right wing back, Jacob Mendy, the absolute goat at left wing back. We've got James Jones and Luke Young as the central midfield, with Jordan Davis being the number 10 in that attacking midfield position, with Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer up front. I've got myself having the one to watch as Max Cleworth. RobRyanRed has chosen Junior Marias from Dagenham Redbridge, and Tomi Caws has chosen Jacob Mendy as his one to watch. Now, for me, that team does have to start, and I think we've all agreed on that the team from Dagenham Redbridge, the team from Dorking, is the team that needs to start against Dagenham and Redbridge. But enough of that. We do have a score prediction of my own. So let's go and see what the score prediction is I've chosen for Wrexham versus Dagenham and Redbridge. So moving on into the score prediction, and I have chosen this to be much more of a close game than the National League table form in its own shows. You know, Wrexham currently have picked up maximum points at home, whereas Dagenham and Redbridge have picked up 1 point away from home thus far. But I am choosing Wrexham 3, Dagenham and Redbridge 2. I do believe Dagenham and Redbridge are no pushovers. I do believe they'll find some form, and if it does turn out to be Wrexham that they do find that form against, then, you know, they're no pushovers. We know this. We know how good McCallum is. We know how good Marias is. We know how good this Dagenham and Redbridge team can be, but it's just they need to wake up and find that form. Now, in essence to that as well, does everyone turn up against Wrexham for the most part? Yeah, especially at the Racecourse Ground. You know, I do believe that Wrexham will get promotion this season, but Wrexham have to keep this up as well. Get that maximum points at home. Having a home form, you know, the way they have at the moment is absolutely phenomenal. Goal-wise, I am going to go for Paul McCallum brace for Dagenham and Redbridge. And I believe, you know, I've said this on another preview on another channel, but I have gone for Paul Mullen, Ollie Palmer, and Max Cleworth. So I do believe Max Cleworth, it's his time to get a goal, whether he gets it or not. You know, it wouldn't just surprise me if Ollie Palmer got a brace, Paul Mullen scored or whatever. But I do trust in Max Cleworth to get a goal. But that is my score prediction. Let me know what your guys' score prediction, team predictions, and anything else is like that down in the comment section down below. But for now, let's move on into the last piece of this preview between Wrexham and Dagenham and Redbridge. And the last piece of the preview that I just want to mention just stands at this. So I just want to say a massive thank you for everybody for watching. I just want to thank everybody for the support on these previews, the vlogs, and any other videos that are posted on this channel. The support has been immensely insane. And, you know, I just want to thank everybody for that. But more previews to come. Let me know what you think about the change of the structure of these previews are. Is this a much improved structure, or would you like it to go back to the old structure into the way it was? But yeah, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. And to Dagenham and Redbridge fans and any other fans that are travelling down to the Racecourse Ground tomorrow, whether you're a Wrexham fan travelling or a Dagenham and Redbridge fan travelling, hopefully everybody has safe travels tomorrow and makes the game in a safe fashion and enjoys the game for that most part. But yeah, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, tap that bell for more notifications. And just one more thing as well, a massive thank you for Joel for getting involved in this preview as well. Any links for his, he does blogs, I believe, written blogs. So I'll leave a link down in the description down below for that. Is Dagnificent page, of course. But yeah, just a massive heads up, and just to say, hopefully everyone has safe travel, enjoy the game and all that good stuff. And until next time, guys, I shall finally see you guys at the Racecourse Ground tomorrow.